One of the most important numbers and values going to have on your character sheet, aside from your skill sets here, is the armor class number, right? And you'll see it right there. Whenever you're in combat, this becomes a significant number that drives a lot of how damaged or how much damage you take or how much damage you don't take, right? So the way to determine that is to look in the book on page 145, right? So this is page 145, right? And this is a chart here that determines what kind of value your armor class will have, right? Most of your characters will have some sort of armor. If they don't, right, if they don't have armor, then your armor class determines your armor class determines whether you're damaged or hurt during a battle. Without armor, your armor class is 10 plus your dexterity modifier. So, in Simon's character here, Bobrick, 10 and his dexterity is 1, so this would actually be 11. He would have to change this to 11 if you were fighting naked. But that's usually not the case. Some of your characters can't have armor. Usually wizards, magical people can't have it, but many do. And so to determine that armor class depends on what kind of armor you have. So if your character has light armor, like padded leather or studded leather, you add these modifiers. So if your character has padded armor, you're going to have 11 plus whatever your dexterity modifier is. So if Simon's character had padded armor, he would have 11 plus the dexterity modifier. So then his armor class would be 12, right? And the same thing goes for leather armor studded. It would be 12 plus his dexterity modifier, which was 1, so he'd have an armor class of 13, right? Now, if you have medium armor, which would be like hide armor, chain shirt, scale mail, breastplate, or a half plate, right? These are a bit heavier. So this would be 12 plus your dexterity modifier. So for Simon, that would be 12 plus 1 would be 13. Now, if your dexterity modifier is 3 or more, you can only add up to 2, right? So the maximum of 2. So even if you have a dexterity modifier of plus 3, you can only add plus 2. So the maximum armor class for any of these would be, for anybody with a hide armor, would be 14. And so chain shirt would be 13 plus your dexterity modifier. So because Simon has plus 1, that'd be 14. If your character has more, the most you can add is 2, and then it goes on like that. Now, if you have heavy armor, like paladins often have, chain mail or ring mail or plate mail, that's all well and good, but this is your armor class, right? You cannot add your dexterity bonus because this is heavy stuff. So your character can't add anything. So if you have chainmail, you have an armor class of 16. But if your character has a shield, you can add 2 more to that, right? So your whole armor class is increased by 2. So if you have chainmail, your armor class is 16, and if you have a shield, you'd add another 2 to that, so that would be 18. Okay? So once again, if you're naked, your armor class is 10 plus whatever your dexterity modifier is. And let's go over here. His dexterity modifier is plus 1. So his naked armor class is 11. But if you look on this page, on page 145, right, it gives you what kind of armor and then what kind of armor class you can create from that.